Hello, my name is Barbara Denning, member of the Independent Schools team. This Did You Know looks at the ISI Inspector's requirements based around your staffing and how SIMS can help you record and produce that data for the inspectors. In the spring release there was a new report which you can import called ISI Single Register, but also you will need to import some lookups which are available from the help desk. So let's take a look. Having imported the lookups, this will enable you to record the data which will then appear in the ISI Central Register report. So I'm going to start by running the report to show you the outcome, and then we can have a look at where the data is entered. So having imported the new report from the spring release, you'll now find it in the staff focus. So its name is ISI Central Register. If I simply run that, the output will appear in Excel, and we can have a look at some of the headings which will then clarify what needs to be recorded to meet ISI requirements. So we have the name of the staff, we have their employment start date, and then these columns here indicate the data that ISI to be recorded. So if I scroll across the screen, you can see the headings relating to such things as ID, CRB checks, List 99, right to work in the UK, references, medical details, and CV authenticated, together with the possibility of having added notes to some of those fields. So where does that data come from? If I come back into SIMS and go into a staff record, now this clearly will only be available to staff who have appropriate permissions within the software, so therefore probably your personnel officer. If I have a look at Mr. Atkinson and I come down to panel number 8, employment details, this is where you're probably at the moment recording checks such as CRB checks, but it's within this check panel that the additional ISI checks are recorded. So you can see that Mr. Atkinson already has some checks, right to work in the UK, an identity check, a CRB check, a qualifications check. I'm going to add in a couple more, so simply by clicking on New. Then the lookups that you will have imported will now appear in the list of possible checks. And one of those is the ISI check level. So you would select the date that the check was made, so I choose today, and then tied in with the check level is the description of that person in school. And so these lookups here relate to the ISI check. So I would choose a suitable role for this member of staff. In this case, he's a teacher. I can then fill in who made the check and say OK. The other check I'm going to add, so through the same route, I go into New, but my check this time relates to the CV. So in the instance of a CV, all I need to do is select the date and record that I authenticated it. So having added in the additional checks, I can then save that record. And now if I run the report again, that additional information will be included in the report. So if I go back and rerun the report, we can then see for Mr. Atkinson here that his clearance level is ISI teaching staff. and his CV check is right over at this side. So just coming back into SIMS then, if I go back to the employment details, then you'll see that you have a full range of checks that can be recorded which will satisfy the ISI inspection requirements. I hope you found that helpful. If you do need any more information, please follow the instructions on the screen.